you very much, Krista, for making space in your busy schedule. And for the start, I would like that everybody introduces themselves, and we start with Claudia, who's actually founded this group and can say a little bit more.
Yeah, hello, I'm Claudia. As you said, we met at the GoPro event. I'm in network marketing since like 6 years. I'm in Usana. I'm actually German, but I'm living in Belgium. And in Belgium, I'm also Silver Director. And I'm in the downline of Carmen Marshall. And that is how I learned to know about her Soul Craft Your Way program. And I'm so passionate about it that I just went ahead and created a kind of European branch of this program. And I want to spread this wonderful approach into Europe. And that is why we started the thing. And the next I suggest is Renate.
Okay, how are you? Renate is my name. It sounds very America. I speak Spanish. I'm living here. I am in Usana, really interested. Indeed, in 2019, I started to talk to her, and we start to work together. She's a wonderful leader. She's an inspiration for me, and try to make business as things and trying to make a couple of customers and associates, but I'm really starting with the thing. So I have to work hard, but we are here, and very interesting to hear your experiences and well, your life. Thank you.
And Katalin, would you like to say a few?
Yes, thank you. My name is Katalin. I'm from Hungarian, but I live in Germany, in Düsseldorf, and I work with Forever Living Products, aloe vera, since 7 years. And thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you very much for introducing yourselves. And now we have a couple of questions for you, Krista. And as everybody in network marketing has a story why how they got introduced into the business and why they signed up, and we would love to hear yours.
Absolutely. Well, just recently, I kind of put together a few dots in my life, and the backstory now is like hindsight is what's that word? Hindsight's 2020 or something. I can see why I was drawn to network marketing. So as a little girl, I was all about fashion design. I wanted to be a fashion designer, and I loved the way clothes made me feel and everything. And I grew up very, very modestly, small town. And I said, okay, I'm going to be a fashion designer. And I knew this because it made me feel good. I didn't know this word yet, but it made me feel empowered to feel differently, to live a bigger life, to like imagine more for myself. So I set on that path of fashion design, and I pursued that and created a career with it. But something was missing, because I realized that not so consciously, but something was missing. I was like, hey, this is fleeting. This like there's more that I need here. And again, I still wasn't using the word empowerment, but I was drawn to this event. It was called WellSpot, a women's symposium of wealth and wellness. So I had to be at this specific event. I didn't know why, I just had to be there. And I was 25 years old. So I couldn't even afford a ticket to go, mind you. So I actually called up the event organizer, and I said, can I help you promote the event? I'm just looking for a free ticket. And she was like, absolutely. She sent me a ticket. So there I go to this event with my free ticket. And this event is amazing speakers, all women who are, wealth and meditation and mindset and and nutrition and all these things that it was all brand new to me. And I was like a deer in a headlight, just like, oh my God, like all these things I didn't know, you know. And I was just so blown away. And the thing again that event gave me was empowerment, and that's really what I was seeking. I wanted to be empowered. So after the event, when I was just like so blown away, I had, you know, all my notes and everything, and I was like, what next, and I was asking everyone, I said, who organized this event? I have to meet her, like I need to meet this person because she's changed my life. And they point to this beautiful woman. Her name is Leanne Jacob, who is, you guys probably know her, Diamond Director with USANA. And I said, okay, we have to go for coffee. I have so many questions to ask you. And at that coffee, she was so generous to meet me. And at that coffee, she said, you are incredibly ambitious. You're really hardworking, but you're missing a couple pieces of the puzzle here. And one of them is your health. Eventually, you're going to burn out. You can't work at this pace, and eventually it's going to catch up to you. And the second thing is you don't have any leverage, right? I see all the things you want to do, but again, you're going to burn out. You're just going on your own personal efforts. So I want you to feel empowered both in your body and your health, and also in the work that you're doing, that it's actually creating something to give you more time. And I was like, this all sounds amazing. And then what I realized was that through fashion, I was seeking empowerment, but now I was given a vehicle where I could not only empower myself, every aspect of myself, but also help others and really empower others. And I think that's really what a lot of people are seeking, right? And, you know, we may find quick fixes for that, but we really just want to feel empowered and in control of our life and connected to what our birthright, which is to be abundant and to be healthy and to be free and to be, you know, untamed, and just like living our lives completely limitless. So that's what network marketing has brought me. That's kind of the journey of how I got into it. But I didn't say yes because of the company. I didn't say yes because of the products. I really said yes because one woman was seeing more in me that I could see in myself.
I totally
Inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Yeah. So, and this brings me to the next question. In our Soulcraft travel, we learned the importance of a why. And I still have to admit, I'm still filing on mine. I'm not entirely satisfied what it is, but I'm getting there slowly, step by step. So I would love to hear, what is your why, Krista?
The why, the big why, right? Well, I think whenever you ask a mother, initially her knee-jerk reaction is going to say, my kids, right? It's for my kids. But you have to dig a little deeper. So for me, I would definitely just say my kids, and that actually is the answer. But there is more to it, because when you're asking someone what their why is and they give you an answer that doesn't make them like tear up, you have to dig deeper. So that's what happened to me. So I was with Nikki Keohoho. I'm not sure if you guys know her. And I was with her in Costa Rica at a retreat. And she said, okay, Krista, what is your why? And I said, my kids, my boys. I want everything for them. And she said, okay, why? And I said, because I want to I want to provide for them, and I want to give them a really great life. I want them to travel, and I want them to, do great things. And she said, but why? And I said, because I want to show them that absolutely anything's possible, and that if they apply themselves, they can do it too. And she said, why? And I said, okay, because I want to model for them that if I can do it, if I can face my fears, they can too. And she said, why? And I said, because I didn't have that. No one told me I could do big things when I was a little girl. And I want to show them that they can too. And I'm about to cry right now. Literally, I'm about to cry. And I was crying right there on that beach. But it was like, she said, you want to be a role model to your children. I said, there we go. I just started bawling, right? So That's my why. So my why is to be a role model to them because they're always listening. They're probably listening right now, right? So that's super important. So how my husband and I, how we model our relationship, how we set goals, how I pick myself up when I fall, how I dust myself off and I keep going, all these different things. And this right here, that's really the driving force for me. And I think it will be for quite some time. And then I think eventually the whys that's going to morph into something more. But I think a kind of a bigger part of my why too is that empowerment piece, right? So when I'm speaking to Ziggy or anyone on our team, it's like I can see their potential crystal clear, right? And the same way that Leanne's seen my potential crystal clear, but it becomes part of my life's work to say, Ziggy, let's go hop on that Zoom, let's go do that, thing that you're uncomfortable. We're just going to do it, so I think it's twofold there.
Wow, amazing. This really, really resonates with me, despite I don't have any children, but I think it is so important. If I had any, it would be so vital for me to be a good role model for them. That's I can so relate.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, and then because it is for me a big challenge, a big obstacle to overcome, did you ever had struggles with money beliefs at all?
Tell me that again. Money what? Sorry?
Money beliefs, like limiting beliefs with the money theme.
Oh God. Oh God, yes. Yeah, like I said, humble beginnings, to say the least. But then self-sabotage shows up in a lot of different ways. For me, it's around money. And it looks like, okay, I'll tell you about when I became a diamond director. So when we hit our diamond director, that's like in Canadian dollars, your paychecks are around 6,000, 7,000 per week. Okay, with some bonuses and that in there. And I've been consistent with USANA my entire career, right? Even having babies and everything. But then once that diamond hit, it was like, holy smokes, like this is a lot of money, right? And it's like we like cross some sort of like line of like what the like that's more than I ever knew to be comfortable or possible, right? So I was like, oh yeah, this is what we did. It's good. It's a good. Okay, we'll upgrade our house. We'll do this. We'll do that. Nothing extravagant, but we're like, okay, we can get comfortable with this life. But then the limiting belief showed up for me in terms of self-sabotage because internally I was not yet aligned with that income.
All right.
And so self-sabotage sounds very drastic, but it's really quite subtle. It's more about not showing up fully, still going through the motions, but not showing up fully, pulling back a little, missing an appointment here, maybe getting a little sloppy with this, maybe spending a little too much here, not managing here. And then all of a sudden, that income, that 6,000 plus was like, slowly going down. Nothing drastic. And it wasn't the wake-up call to like, okay, what what happened? Because now the weekly paychecks are half of what they used to be, right? And it's like it wasn't dramatic. I didn't go and buy like a yacht, nothing like that. But it's like it's I had to pull back because I wasn't yet comfortable. And of course, I heard little remarks here and there like, do you really make that? Oh my God. Oh my God. So I'm like, whoa, right? I wasn't ready. So in terms of limiting beliefs, Ziggy, I think they show up in sneaky ways for me. Where I would say that I'm super fine with all things to do with money. But then I mean, a couple of years ago, I was at just a regular bank meeting with my husband, and they asked me a single question. It wasn't even a big question, and I burst into tears. So, even things around like money management, like there's been a lot of resistance around managing money. There's been a lot of resistance on saving money. If you tell me to make money, I'm like, let's go make some money. Like, you want to make $10,000 this week? Let's go. But then anything to do with the management, I freeze, right? And I'm much better at it now, but it's still part of my limiting belief, if you will. But I don't know, the way that I was wired and the way that I learned.
Okay, so it was a process and along your business that you grew and overcame your money beliefs step by step, but had like now and then have like a little reminder there's still some little missing, and you can overcome it by continue working on your business growth, right?
Yeah, like for example, right now there's a to-do from my accountant that just popped up. And it's like, can you clarify this transaction or something, right? So old me would be like, okay, I will do that eventually. And I would rather do anything else except for reply to that email, which is ridiculous, right? It's like not even a big deal, but it literally feels like hard, right? So some of you are going to experience that in completely different ways, but just know that we all have those areas where we literally, our body reacts. And when our body reacts to that, just be like, ooh, this is going to be good when I break through this.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Claudia, I hand that over to you now.
Yeah, I think we had already a very good insight into obstacles, specifically on money. And you described already that there was a process from where you came and where you are now. Yeah. Do you recall any other kind of stumble stones and so while you move from one level to another, which made you then finally make that level and then be there more comfortable and then maybe go to the next level? What are these things eventually so that we pay attention for us, and learn from your experience and also get an idea of what can be coming to us so that our vision gets clearer?
Yeah. Well, I think it's, I see it all the time in this business is that we'll set that goal. So for example, one of our first goals, it would be different for different businesses, but like that first initial bonus that you could achieve, the matching bonus, Premier Platinum Pacesetter. But you could apply this to share or any one of those like first goals. Now, you're supporting an associate to get there, or you're going for that yourself, and then something happens once you get it done. Of course, you want to relax. You're like, okay, I did it. But then that's when you have to actually turn it up a little bit more, not necessarily in your workflow. That can stay relatively, keep that going. We have to turn up our desire. We have to turn up our decision. We have to turn up our commitment, our vision, because that's when that self-sabotage stuff starts to happen. But also it happens in terms of, I don't know how this works or why it happens this way, but almost every time someone reaches that goal, something negative happens right after. There might be a return. There might be someone sending some snarky remark to them. There might be a husband who says, da, 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 whatever, right? So something happens usually once you're getting there, once you're right there, to say, like, do you really want this, right? So that's why I think it's really important at every little checkpoint in terms of our growth that we don't fall prey to the things that will just happen naturally. And I say like negative because I think everything's there to help us grow and teach us. But also just like our own, like we're naturally as human beings going to want to retract once we have applied ourselves, because we're not comfortable here. We're not comfortable in what we just achieved. It's not normal, right? Why would we be? So our human nature is like, okay, I did it, right? Yay, I'm just going to be over here. Nothing. I'm going to go, watch that Netflix show. I'm going to go do this. I mean, maybe I'll even binge. I don't know. Like we're so weird that way. Like we're like, I got it. And then that probably the same thing applies to like fitness. I don't know, but definitely I see it in business all the time. I just had someone who advanced to believer and got to premier platinum pace setter, and I got a tearful message from her. I don't know if this is for me, da 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 da. Like I'm like, oh, like it's like clockwork, really. So it's that emotional intelligence. And if we're not studying that, I think it's probably should be part of our personal development to-dos. I heard today someone say they called their to-do list a ta-da list.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. And I was like, I like that. But I'm just looking right now. Where's my book? There's an emotional intelligence book I'm reading right now, but I think that's probably a big thing, Claudia, is that the emotional intelligence piece for ourselves and also for our team, so that we don't become reactive and then sabotage.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. And that describes exactly what I went through regularly. I mean, for me, it's even when I sign up a new team member. Yeah. After that, I feel I going down and say, hey, wait.
I know.
Stay up and go. And that made me now having 2 team members in a row. I said, what did I do different this time? So I tried to recall and then improve from there. Huh? So that's exactly describing that process. Huh?
I don't know why we do that, but we just need to keep going, right? Because then once we're there, then we're at that new stage. We can become comfortable there, and that can become our norm, right? But then we have to, again, because we're entrepreneurs, we're going to want to grow and evolve again. Otherwise, what's the point of being here, right? Like we're here to grow and evolve. So we have to get to that next plateau and dig in our heels, make it our own home, our own reality, and then say, okay, let's go to the next level.
Can I just ask something? I think we didn't talk about it before, but I just wanted to check, does it mean that every time you work in your business all these years and you're leveling up, you're still leaving the comfort zone? Is it still like leaving the comfort zone for you?
All the time. All right. I don't think I've been in I've unconsciously fallen back into my comfort zone. But the thing is, our comfort zone's so dangerous because it's not like self-sabotage. It's not like it's not very obvious. It's not loud. It's not necessarily dramatic, but that comfort zone is so dangerous because that's when we can undo all the things that we've done. Right. So we even just recently attending GoPro, it sounds silly, but that wasn't really in my comfort zone for me to attend a 3-day long conference, had to communicate with the family, had to give myself permission just to work on myself, right? But it was like, that's really important for me too, so I don't go into management mode. But yeah, Ziggy, it's a constant state of evolving.
Okay. And that is what I think where a group like this or a mentor or so comes in very handy. So that is like something in your back. Say, hey, come on, go.
Let's go. Huh?
Yeah. At least that's what is, I feel like that's motivating me. And I also want to be this person for others. Yeah? So that's like my mother feeling. So mother, not only for my own child, but also mother for my team, tribe, name it.
Yes,
and
for the
like
world.
That.
Yeah.
That is how I resonate. That's okay, go. Kids, where are you?
It's true. It's true. And that's
what
it.
I
That
like.
goes back to modeling, right? Like,
I
mean, this summer I told my older son, he's 10, I said, I'm going to learn how to skateboard this year with you. But, I'm 38 years old. It's not the same as a 10-year-old learning. It's going to hurt really bad. Right. But it's like, I can do hard things too. And, and like, that's kind of our new mantra is like, I can do hard things. We can do hard things. You know, let's just keep, you know, even if Curtis is studying French right now, he doesn't like it. It's not in his, doesn't feel good, right? But we can do hard things, you know,
Yeah.
and that's how we're going to grow and evolve.
Doing
Sure.
new things from time to time. I think that also
Yeah.
helps to widen your horizon.
Yeah.
Like I have a project that I learn cooking and have fun, which is not in my comfort zone, as I'm not a housewife.
Yeah.
So but then I realized, yeah, okay, at the end it brings something and makes me also proud that I managed, and I can share this new recipe and
Totally.
so on. Yeah. Yeah.
It's Claudia, I agree. It's such a confidence booster. Even just learning something just small, something new. You're like, I did that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
like that.
and then we also heard already that the process from where you came to where you go is a constant changing,
Yeah.
a constant, it's growth. Huh? It's a constant growth. And when you look back, you say, ooh, some years ago, what I'm now doing was unbelievable and something not possible
gosh.
when I looked at. Huh? So
Absolutely.
is there something typical which you can say, okay, yeah, that was, I don't know, unbelievable, not on my radar when I started, and now it's like
Oh, yeah.
dancing.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
absolutely. Well, you see the color of my sweatshirt here,
Yeah.
my sweater?
Yeah.
It's like
I
mine.
used to turn that color every time I spoke to anyone. Like,
Wow.
if I was like in high school, it was like, please don't call my name, please don't call my name, please don't. And they're like, Krista, can you? I'm like, and then everyone would look at me, and I would turn pitch red
Wow.
every time, like so embarrassing. And I was like, how am I ever going to, you know, move through this? And it was my network marketing business that allowed me to do that, because eventually I was speaking one-on-one, and then 1-2 and 1-3. And then, you know, Leanne says, come and do your testimonial. And then it's 1-10 or 20. And then I was able to slowly get more comfortable. But public speaking, that was not even a possibility. Of course I wasn't confident, but also I like turned red. Like I literally was so embarrassed every time someone looked at me, which sounds so crazy now, because now I can, if you told me tomorrow I'm going to go speak in front of 20,000 people, I'd be like, let's go. It's, you know, so it's really crazy. And that's like my grandmother, that's what she always says. She's like, I can't believe you could do that. Like I never would have thought you could do that.
Wow, this is
Incredible,
so
nice.
encouraging, or this is amazing.
It's a
Because
challenge, huh?
for me,
Wonderful.
it's speaking in front of a camera and speaking in front of people. It's always been challenging, and I don't turn red, but I get really hot in my head, and I sometimes just blank.
Yeah. But you did so great the other day on our IGTV. We did.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I somehow managed, but now I have to consistently stay on it, like you said.
Yes.
Thank you for just pushing me. I'm just grateful for that.
Oh, you're welcome. But that's the thing. It's like, you know, as adults, we stop learning new things sometimes, you know, and I was explaining this to, you know, my little guy who's trying to learn how to skate, like hockey skate, just outside, and he doesn't want to, because it's not fun when you're falling all the time and there's kids skating around you and you feel silly, you know. And I said, well, it's not going to be fun the first few times, you know, you're not going to like it, like you're going to fall all the time, but I promise you, if you can get through this part, it's going to be fun. The same way going live is fun for me now. Like I love, if I could just build my business by doing live videos all day, that would be awesome. But that's just not how this business works. But you know, it's like as adults, as kids, we have to learn how to ride a bike, we have to learn how to swim, we have to learn how to ice skate, we have to learn how to tie our shoes, all these things, you know. And so as grown-ups, we have to, just because we don't like it or we're not good at it, doesn't mean we shouldn't and can't do it. Like we can, and it can actually be fun.
And what are the things, like you said, public speaking, which is now some part of your normal behaviors, and also going live and things like that. What else would you think is typical, something, a quality, or yeah, you kind of got over the time while you're changing and level up?
Yeah, well, I was never particularly organized, right? It wasn't like I was messy, messy, messy. Like my room was always messy. Even when I lived on my own in Toronto, I was very messy. And I didn't really know. It wasn't like Claudia, like you said, like I didn't have that housewife kind of thing going on. Like I didn't have that domestic part of me. But in terms of business, like I've been able to get very organized over the years and slowly, but it's simply also, being mindful of the things I'm telling myself. So if I say I'm not organized, or I'm not a numbers person, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, well, of course I'm not going to be that, right? So turning into like, okay, I choose to be organized because that's a reflection of how I value myself and how I value my time, right? And finding the motivation within that, because intrinsically I wasn't motivated to be organized, right? So I had to find the motivation in that and be like, okay, well, how is it going to feel once my office is organized? How is it going to feel once my inbox is organized? Well, that feels better. That I actually feel more confident. Okay, let's do those things, right?
That's a bit where I'm now on, that I'm finding my fun with cooking.
Yeah.
That is kind of, it sounds like that is similar what you are now describing. Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I still there's lots of room for improvement, but I've come a long way, I will say.
Yeah, it really sounds like it, but it's also so wonderful to kind of listen and to learn your experience, because then that helps us to be kind of better on our way and improve in that sense. So, and I'm so curious already for long. I said a millionaire for me is kind of, wow, I really have difficulties to imagine what the life of a millionaire would be. And yet it's so important to manifest things that you kind of put yourself with your whole feeling and things like that already in this situation. So I would want to know how a typical day of a millionaire like you would look like, if possible. I mean, in some short highlights of the days.
Yeah. Just to be totally transparent though, I don't think I'm a millionaire. I think I know I'm not a millionaire. I have made over $1 million, but there's not $1 million in my bank account, just FYI. But no, I have made well over $1 million with USANA, and the lifestyle for me, it's especially right now in COVID life, pandemic life, it's definitely not exciting or glamorous, but what it is both me and my husband were home together, right? And Mike, that's my husband, he's able to be hands-on with the children and to support them in their learning. And we don't stress about money. We don't stress about, like, we do a lot of like, we're vegan, our family's plant-based. So we do a lot of like, we order out from a lot of beautiful restaurants all the time. And but we're comfortable, in terms of like the house we live in, which is really beautiful, at least, in terms of what I think. And we have a car in the driveway that it's all paid for. And, all these things that it's like, it's, there's no stress around money or time that's taken care of.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I wish I could say we had nothing glamorous going on.
and you are also kind of considering things like self-care.
Yes, lots of self-care.
Lots of self-care.
Yeah,
okay.
lots and lots and lots. Yeah, that's everything.
So what are your typical things for you to make sure that you stay in balance?
Well, right now specifically, it's I do a lot of just like baths and like with candles and the face mask, but it's just I need that time just to unwind completely. And for me, self-care is also it's also managing my schedule so that I'm not working into the wee hours of the night as well. So because I'm in control, right? So my husband always says, like, if you vote stretch yourself, you vote stretch yourself. It's not a boss that's telling you, it's no one else. Like, you have control of that. So really and that's what it is too. Some days is self-care is like clearing the schedule and saying, no, I've learned very well my limits. And like Ziggy knows that I'll go above and beyond for everyone, and I'll go. And it looks like I'm always like available. But I also know, like, it's almost like there's a line that I know that if I cross that, the price is far too great. Right.
Mhm.
So, and sometimes, based on hormones, based on the cycle, the moon, all those things, I just don't have a lot to give some days. And I'm really good at honoring that. I'm really good at like just clear out the schedule, like can't, just do what I can to rearrange things and then just shut it down. And I'll do that. Because that's the thing. Like, that's what I work so hard for, is to give myself that permission to say, okay, no, my husband needs me, my kids need me. Let's just clear the schedule and unplug.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So really good. So because
Mhm.
now it gets a bit more clear in the mind and in the
Yeah.
impression of what to look forward to and to work
Yeah.
to, and why I'm working hard to get eventually more of this. Huh?
Yeah. It's really worth it.
Yeah. So thank you very
Mhm.
much. And
You're
if
welcome.
it's okay, I would kind of open up for if somebody else from the other two maybe have some more questions which coming up during our conversation, if that is okay.
Sure, of course.
Do you have some more questions, Renate or Katalin?
No, I only want to thank you because indeed, when someone said, well, we have a talk with a millionaire,
Yeah.
you think will come someone full of different, the way you're looking, you look like a teenager going to high school. And I found it great because you I feel myself really very glad to see that the millionaire is really a human being
Hmm.
that is having that struggle with management, that
Yeah.
has two kids as a normal life,
Yeah.
and you are quite nice, natural, honest. And for me, it's really a wonderful surprise because I was imagining that you will be a little bit more sophisticated, if I can use that expression, and you are not at all. That sounded very nice. For me, it's very important. It's part of my value as well. It's part of
Yeah.
my value because I think it's very important when you have such an amount of money to have the feet on earth.
Yeah.
And it's quite difficult. Quite difficult.
Yeah.
I can
Absolutely.
imagine. I'm not a millionaire, but I can imagine. So I found that a very important value. Thank you that you give
Yeah.
us or give me this inspiration. It's very nice.
Oh, you're welcome. And I think it's
True. It's true.
yeah, I think that's all we have. I think in terms of attracting more wealth, I think it's super important, and not even just important, I think it's crucial that you're not faking it till you make it kind of thing. Like, you need to really to stay in
Exactly.
your
You are natural. That's
yeah, you
lovely.
have to.
Natural and honest. Beautiful.
Yeah. Like, I don't I try to say it. It's like, actually, to be honest, I think one time, in terms of money beliefs and stuff, one time I had someone come over to my house, and we have a nice home. It's not a mansion or anything like that. It's just a nice, clean, modern home. And she walked in, she goes, huh, I thought you would live in something a little bit more like elaborate, like interesting. Like, she was just very taken aback by, and I didn't like it actually, like, I was like, am I supposed to live in a fancier home? Like, is she disappointed? Like, I don't know you know what I mean? Like, but that's the thing. It's like, there's a lot of people living outside of their financial comfort, or I don't know what you want to call it, but means. They're living outside their financial means to try to attract people to them, but that doesn't work.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
you have to be natural. You have to be your own.
Yeah, because people
Don't
can
lose
feel
that
that. They're like,
value.
"That's
Then I
not
found
real."
it very important.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, my mom and dad would be proud.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have I pulled up some declarations of Millionaire Mind for us. Do you guys want me to read a few?
Yes,
Of
please.
course. Interesting.
Okay, so what do we see? Claudia, tell me a number like 1 to 10.
7.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here's a declaration for us. Ready? My goal is to become a millionaire and more.
Mm.
I like it. Okay, someone else give me a number.
Number 2.
Number 2. What I heard about money isn't necessarily true. I chose to adopt new ways of thinking that support my happiness and success.
Wow.
That
Wow.
makes sense. I'm going to read
is
that
very
again.
good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
What I heard about money isn't necessarily true. I chose to adopt new ways of thinking that support my happiness and success. See, yeah, you were expecting some hoity-toity girl. Ziggy.
Exactly. Open mind. That means
Yeah.
open mind. Open mind.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ziggy, can you say a number?
9.
9. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, here's one for you, Ziggy. Ready?
Yeah.
I commit to be rich.
Oh,
Wow.
Perfect.
I see some resistance coming up here.
And what about Kathleen?
5.
5. I observe my thoughts and entertain only those that empower me.
Wow, that's
Wow.
good. That's
I'll
good.
send you guys
Kathleen?
these. Ziggy, I'll send this to you, okay? It's really good.
Okay, cool. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, well, that was all very inspirational. Thank
Oh,
you.
this was so
much.
fun, you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Thank you very much.
pleasure to meet you.
I hope to come see
Very
you guys
nice.
soon too in Germany.
Yeah.
That would be
Soon.
Very
nice.
cold at the moment.
As I recall you being on the convention in Salt Lake City on stage
Yeah.
about social media, was it at that
Yeah.
time? You were the social media person. So I was like, oh, talking about being good on stage. Yeah, now.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
I
would
can't
love
wait
to
for
see you.
convention again. Were you?
Yeah.
Sorry, did you have a question there?
No.
No.
It was just
Yeah.
dreaming
Refreshing.
in the past.
Refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope we can have convention again one day soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so too.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
Okay, so I think we are good in time.
Yeah.
We managed